Double do, double D. Of the devil continues. We found an android with a. Wait, I saved a picture of this. Actually, I saved a bunch of pictures. I should look at what I saved. Oh, that's Umineko. Wrong game. I have a grip strength for 1,000 kilograms. Sarah and I would die for them. Now we gotta. Hello, Kakery. Wait, is that the first time shatter symbol? So that's crazy. I'm using Shatterino, so I can't tell if this is the first time shatter mode, but I appreciate it. Created. Okay, following since 2024, so probably not. But hello, you're the first one in. There we go. That looks correct. Okay, I'm gonna disable, what's it called? Like the preload ads. God damn it. I'm gonna disable the preload ads by running ads immediately, so it's gone for an hour. And then we get into Off the Devil. Should be this, I think. Right. I hate that you have to do this. I feel like ads should be off. I guess it would be too exploitable. I hate ads more than anything else in the world. But I feel like you should just like have an hour of no ads until you what's it called? Until the preload ads turn on. But even if you set the setting to like run ads like the minimum amount, like you can run less than this, but then you get preload ads where the everyone who joins the stream just always has, like, usually has ads, but it's still, for the first hour, preload ads are still on. It's so stupid. You're gonna be playing Deltarune next chapter tomorrow? Honestly, yeah, probably. I don't know. I played the first two ages ago. I don't know. I would rather finish Off the Devil, I think. I don't feel particularly stressed in getting into it, but yeah, I want to play them eventually. Anyway, I'm gonna run ads real quick so that we don't have preload, and then we get into Off the Devil. Oh, never. Did it run one? Pre-roll ads are off for 30 minutes. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're Gucci. Haha, XD. Heyo, Kirby. I'm excited. What the fuck, bro? Why is there an ad? Because I hate you, Munch. Because I hate you, Munch, specifically. Let's get comfy. You're back? How are you back so soon? This is fucked up. I'm making a tremendous mistake here because I am I'm pouring myself a glass of Pepsi, and there's nothing worse than narrating a story and you just like constantly feel the not carbon, the carbonation fighting back in your throat. Knowing this, I still do exactly that. I don't know why I didn't mention it, but Serra means greenhouse in Italian. Ooh. It's a project. Ooh, hello Astro Shiki. Been ages. How are you doing? You haven't been in the previous, what's it called? Off the Devil streams, right? No meatball emote? Have all the emotes like ran... Did I turn off all those emotes? 7 TV. Unable to connect. The fuck? Is it no longer 7 TV? XD. You did, yeah? Oh, fair. I forgot. I still have the Umineko ones. I need more Umineko emotes. They're the best. Okay. If you're joining now, I will quickly catch you up to speed if you want. I highly recommend playing the tutorial case anyway. It's free, but I'll catch you up anyway because it takes like a couple seconds. This game is a hybrid between Danganronpa and Ace Attorney. It's been a lot more Ace Attorney than Danganronpa, but I think that's gonna change in this case. And we are a defense lawyer, this red-haired woman here. In our first case in the tutorial, we show up pro bono. It's like a cyberpunk world where everything is recorded. And we solve a murder. Now, the fucked up part is, we are the murderer. So, we work to acquit the accused. And in the end, the twist reveal is that, oh no, we killed them. Because we just got it like that. So, we are like a gambler. And we are completely fucked in the head. This individual is not okay in any way, shape, or form, and I love her. I love the body count. You cannot ask someone that, and it's not clear what type of body count they mean. Before I realized she was a murderer, I thought it meant sex, but then it was like, oh no, she's a murderer. Occupation, criminal, defense attorney. Now, what's happened in the second case so far is David Asher, who designed like modern androids that are like warm-bodied, they act kind of like humans, right? They look and feel like humans. He passed away, and he left something for us. He was apparently a friend of ours. He left a vault in his like huge-ass compound, and in there we found an android that is unregistered, way stronger than anyone else, and doesn't follow any of the like rules. Like the other ones you can command and shit, but this one seems to just be a person, but like way stronger. And now we talked to that android for a little bit. The police are here trying to figure out who killed the, or like if he committed suicide or killed, or someone killed him. And they're just investigating the compound. We were gonna leave after we got like whatever was in the vault. Then the android goes, oh, you owed him a favor. I'm gonna cash in on that favor. You don't have to take care of me anymore, provided you solve the murder. Figure out who the fuck killed him. He would never kill himself. And I'ma just tell you right now, that android has a grip strength of 1,000 kilograms. We are not gonna fuck around with that android. So that's where we're at right now. We just went downstairs and we are trying to figure out, find the clues now and start solving the murder. Also, there's like a L/Kira like dynamic going on with the red-haired girl and a profile I don't think we have right now. Do we have? No, not in this case. At the end of the last case, we found a... Oh, I have her as my pin. She's on the phone. This dweeb ass woman. She's onto us as the murderer, like really onto us. So that's about all that's going on. With the prelude out, let's get into it. Are you sure about this? You have questions too, don't you? Right now, I'm just a little better equipped to get answers than you are. This woman's also suspicious as fuck. Asthma inhaling constantly. Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Yes, the android. Doesn't look like a 1,000-kilogram grip, but, you know. Is the air quality at Noble headquarters kept up to state standards? What's that? All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Was father also working under such poor conditions? They don't have asthma. Then why are they all carrying inhalers? Okay, good question. Showing results for adroxone inhalers. Wait, so does she not have asthma? Last time you missed the most suspicious action of Jess, but took a note about it, and it was very annoying. What? Did I take a note? Let me check the sheet. Let me check the Google sheet. What could I possibly have taken a note of? Jess arrived at 9 PM, was locked out of electronics at 9:15. Jess has it omega bad, omega down bad for London. Jess has zero self-assuredness. Okay, that's all I've written down. I don't know what what was suspicious about Jess, but you know what? We'll move on. I'll figure it out. First legalized in 2083, the stimulant sold under the name adroxone has since become one of the most widely used drugs in the corporate world. As a Class 2 stimulant of least concern, employees of any corporation in good standing with the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight can have access to adroxone without a prescription, so long as their HR representative feels it would be beneficial to their work performance. Workplace adroxone, as it is sometimes called, is dispensed through biomonitor enhanced inhalers that automatically detect overdoses and keep track of possible habit formation. Automatic safety levels may be adjusted at supervisor's discretion. Unsubstantiated claims that adroxone was first invented as a purely recreational drug by the notoriously violent Skullhead Mafia caused enough of a stir that in 2083 a formal investigative committee was formed. Unfortunately, in 2084 an industrial hydrogen fuel accident resulted in the deaths of all 391 known Skullhead members, placing the investigation at an indefinite standstill. Interesting. You took a note about something which was supposed to be Jess being suspicious, but you didn't take the note as her being suspicious, you just noted the thing. Ah, it's fine then. There's probably a reason for that. It's in the back of my head though, so it's fine. It's 2086 right now. Yeah, let me put it this way. That's a corporation murdering the gang, like for sure. That's probably the adroxone corporation or whatever that like produces them that murdered the gang, I'm assuming. Yes, ma'am, she's right over here. There she is. This is L. This is L. L Death Note. She seems really fucking menacing. Oh, it's you. This is an incompetent, like garbage detective. It's like their third case or something. They aren't quite there yet. They're really hot-headed and sure about themselves, but we rolled them the last case. Did I mess up? On the contrary. Eyes wide, she's a DA. Quiet. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Yes, I'm about to get exposed. Emma Rockford. Okay, we finally have a profile again. Assistant District Attorney. Likes milk tea, white noise, black lace. Dislikes artificial sweeteners. Couldn't be me with my diet Pepsi or whatever, Pepsi Max here. Dislikes home remedies, ink stains. Reads true crime, bodies rippers. What the fuck is a bodies rippers? Bodies ripper. What is this? A historical or gothic romance, typically featuring scenes in which the heroine is subjected to violence. Oh. Oh, okay. Didn't know she got it like that. Best at getting the staff's attention. Worst at deciding what to order. Based. Didn't think I'd run into you here. Yeah, didn't think I'd be here either. Okay, I've been trying to, like, give everyone distinct voices. I cannot juggle 4 different voices. Like, it's all gonna blend together. I'm making a vaguely female voice and then, like, my default voice. I cannot be arsed. It's too much. It was fine when there was, like, 3 people total, but we're getting into, like, a fat-ass range of characters. Yeah, didn't think I'd be here either. But the powers that be think my presence sends a strong message to the Megs, so... No, wait, what are you doing here? We're just time skipping? Oh. Oh, we're just explaining. I see, sorry for your loss. Thank you for saying that. Oh yeah, Morgan fucking hates her, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm 90% sure that Morgan fucking despises this woman. Oh, and the final piece of information you need to have is we are playing on high roller mode, which means no saves coming. We have 1 save and there's no auto-saving or anything. So, you know, live with your choices. I think it auto-saves after choices, so it'll like save over when I fuck up choices. Homicide detective, 3rd class, likes chewing gum, sports drink, biking. Dislikes babysitting, audiobooks, manspreading. Relaxed when shopping for growth. She's a different beast. What the fuck? Oh yeah, right, I forgot. Yeah, Morgan's last 5 targets have been women that look sort of like Emma. So, you know... Yeah, there's probably something there. You know, enemies to romance, probably. Relaxed when shopping for groceries. Who the fuck? Whatever. Struggles with remembering lyrics. Default status, do not disturb. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words. We can't all be as talkative as you. Normally quoting poetry would feel pretentious, but you were so genuine in your reading. Bite me. Based. I don't know if there's a need for all that. Very mature, detective. Did you come up with that yourself? Honestly, like, I wouldn't say I'm relaxed, but I'm not stressed either. But it's not like my happy place, you know? Like, I'd much rather be, like, reading a book or something than grocery shopping. Oh no, that's Kaguya's signature pose. Like the pop star? I don't know what you're talking about. You can admit it if you do. Well, I don't... Well, there's nothing to admit because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. Wait, now you're saying you don't know who Kaguya is? She's the most famous. Kaguya is the stage name of a singer-songwriter known for her powerful voice. This is gonna be a real character for sure. of a singer-songwriter known for her powerful voice and her stage persona's intricately crafted lore. After releasing a blitz of chart-topping singles, a quadruple platinum album, and a bevy of cultural reset music videos in just the last 3 years, she has come to be considered the leading living figure in the pop music and popular culture realm. Realm? Like a fucking... It's like cultivators in like a wuxia novel who, like, they're cultivating their pop music status. Kaguya's official age is listed as 1086 years old. She released her first single, Orbit, in 2083, which went on to peak at number 1 on the Billboard Top 100, the Rubicon Digital Singles Chart, and the Ni8 music video streaming tracker. That's a mouthful. Making it one of the fastest selling singles in history. Personal details on the pop star remain scarce, and protecting her anonymity has become a core part of her fan culture. When a retired facial analysis expert claimed that her stage makeup was formulated specifically to make facial recognition on her impossible, a representative for her record company met with the press to clarify that she is simply a private person who wants her fans to enjoy the experience that is Kaguya's voice. Users also frequently search for Kaguya lore explained, Kaguya iceberg explained, Kaguya Lunatropic tour tickets where to buy. I love that. Yeah, well, I just don't know who that is, so... Ma'am! Were you just about to say something? Okay, she gets like a 5-year-old voice for sure. Oh well, I'm still surprised to see you here now, Morgan. Are you helping plan the services? In before you are the pop star? How the fuck are we a serial murderer, pop star, ace attorney, defendant? That's juggling a little bit too much. Oh wait, it's Emma. If that's Emma, that's insane. But I could see it. I could totally see it being Emma. It's definitely gonna show up as a character. 100%. Also, why is... maybe it's Jess. I have nothing to go off. I'm not gonna make... We're gonna make a guess before it's revealed, I hope. If it is one of these characters. But I don't have enough to go off of yet. Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Asher's funeral service. Wouldn't his family want to take care of that? No. No? No. I see. Sorry. If that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Ha! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, that's... You're here for the same reason as every other suit they've got crawling around. Money. You're not wrong. There are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scurrying around before my friend's body is even cold. But the honest truth is I don't even know if David had a will. The company helped him manage his estate. Legal is probably already on it. Actually, judging by how much coffee that intern is carrying into the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right, so if you're not here for the funeral or the reading of the will... Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually, on a matter unrelated to David's passing. An unrelated matter? That's convenient. Isn't it? But now that I am here, it's come to my attention that the police have made a determination in the case of David's death. And where did you hear that? Am I mistaken? No, you're right. They concluded that it was a suicide. And the android earlier said that it is completely impossible for him to have committed suicide. So we are forced to assume that they are wrong. And it's a setup. Can always count on her to be blunt. I was worried about that. Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling... Because I'm gonna have to contest that charge. What? The state has made a charge. I'm arguing against it. The hell are you talking about? The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, detective. It is technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing dead men to trial. I missed the previous streams, but I'll be watching this one. Nice, Laria. Laria. I forgot if I pronounced the O's or not. I think I just did area eventually, which is definitely wrong. It's been a while. But nice to see you around. Did you catch my catch-up earlier in the stream? I spent like 5 minutes discussing everything you missed. Like a solid 20 minutes ago or something. 10 minutes ago. If you want to quickly catch up to what happened in the previous free streams at this point. I missed the catch-up as well. Dang, that sucks. Yeah, if you go back 10 minutes, there's a like 3-minute catch-up. Or you watch the VODs, then it's fine. I missed this. Especially not for their own murder, Morgan. No, not to the trial, of course not. But there would be a preliminary hearing in a case like this. I catch up soon enough? Nice. That's fine. A preliminary hearing is a step in which the criminal court process in the criminal court process in which a judge or jury will evaluate whether there exists sufficient evidence to justify a trial. Between security systems, personal devices, biomonitors, IoT crumbs, automated dependents, and mods, it is extremely rare in modern times for the people's evidence of a crime to be found lacking, making preliminary hearings somewhat of a formality that is frequently sidestepped without protest from the defense. I realized I gotta fix something. 1 second. I need to turn on a toggle on OBS. There we go. I've been meaning to record every VOD instead of downloading them from Twitch afterwards, but I forgot to take it to auto-record when I start stream. You can't spell Pipsqueak without peak. Thank you, Sandy Beach. I appreciate that. I think, genuinely, I don't feel like I provide that much yet. The thing about games like these is so much of it is just reading until you get into enough complexity and like sandboxiness where you can really shine as like the person experiencing it. Like that's where everything diverges. Before then I feel like I'm just a vehicle for the story, which is fine. But I feel like you shouldn't evaluate me as peak, you should evaluate the game as peak. Yeah, you're reading until the spreadsheet starts mattering. I'm fascinated how people interact with the game and trying to piece it together. Nice. Yeah, I think it's really funny, like, rewatching someone play Umineko right now. I am that douchebag mystery novel enthusiast who, like, just immediately goes in as like, okay, what's the mystery? Okay, fuck the story. Fuck the intrigue, the drama, the fucking personal stakes. What's the mystery? What's the solution? Get in there. I don't give a fuck, man. I am Erica, as much as I hate to admit it. That's not true. I feel like I balance it decently, but I can slip into modes where I very much want to solve it. But I feel like I can also enjoy the story. Oh, is he streaming right now? That's very funny. I thought Erica was your favorite character. Yes, but look, even though Erica is by far my favorite character in that series, that doesn't mean I want to associate with Erica, if that makes sense. The worst part is that my tag is Pipsqueak, which is associated with rats, or mice, and she's just the fucking rattiest character of all time, so it's already there, the connection. But no, I really enjoy piecing stories like these together. It's especially fun on stream. I think games like these, where it's especially if they're less well known, it's very fun to piece stuff together with like chat. So these games with a mystery component are probably my favorite things to stream. Games with intrigue where you can feel like a community solving it together are probably my favorite things to stream, which is probably what I'll be focusing on mostly going forward, I think. Technically, as a formality. Assuming the courts aren't busy that day. I'm afraid that on this occasion, I'm going to have to insist on formality. Yeah, well, you really don't have much say in the matter. They keep doing this. I keep, like, auto-generating a figure of speech that they either cut in half or they flip around to how I would read it normally. Here I would read, you really don't have much of a say in the matter. And the off A is just gone. And I don't know why. But I keep, like, misreading a ton of sentences in this game. With David gone, I have the only say. Or, I have the only say, really. Peak reading? Yeah, reading is hard. Sup, Riv? Yo, yo, yo. Also, am I the only one who's, like, spooked? Oh, you can barely see them because the chat is blocking them. These two people in the background, like, behind the chat, have got it going on. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but the sunglasses and everything, they're spooky, man. I am, after all, his criminal attorney. What about the person standing in the middle? No, they're trying too hard. They're not quite there. All that money and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney? Bullshit. I'm also skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney. I always feel out of place joining one of these streams in the middle of the game. Well, to be fair, I get that. I always end up watching VODs for streams like these to catch up, because I want the full experience until I'm caught up. If you want, at the start of the stream, roughly like 20 minutes ago or so, like 10 minutes in, I spent 3 or 4 minutes just catching up on everything that's happened so far in the story. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney. You're absolutely right. It is a conflict of interest. And I would have said as much to him if I had the chance. What do you mean? I only found out that he wanted me to be his attorney today. After he died? How the hell did you miss that memo? Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well. Oh, I didn't know you had an Android, Morgan. It's cute. Thanks, but it's actually David's. And it's technically my witness. Witness to what? 38 hours ago. Fought. That is... Wait, what is that a reference to? They've already done a bunch of old, like... old names. Oh no, it's literally just father. But they keep doing... this character specifically keeps doing really old names. So for some reason I was like, no, that's definitely gonna be an old name. But no, it's literally just father. That is, David Asher communicated to me, as a matter of record, the following explicit legal intent. That in the case of any and all criminal charges brought against him by the state, his attorney would be Evangeline... I'm writing down that first name. Evangeline Morgan. We haven't gone the first name before. Evangeline? No, wait, seriously? Your name's Evangeline? Did your parents name you after a Christmas carol? Should we all be curtsying? It's not that funny. No, of course not. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Evangeline? Or do your friends call you Angel? I hear Kaguya's on tour, detective. Should I get you tickets? You could have your dad drive you, like all the other 15-year-olds. Hey! Feels like we're getting off topic. What were we just... I was telling you that David Asher wanted her to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise. An android's recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan. That's fair. And if we were going before an upper-level court, I would expect that to be open to all kinds of scrutiny. But we're talking about a preliminary hearing. A formality, as you called it. If he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's dead or alive. Am I missing something? What difference does it make? Not even an adjutant would be obtuse enough to sentence a dead man. Adjutant? They're team beer for sure. No, there won't be a sentence, but the adjutant... I'm sorry, chat. Hello?
The chaplain, the foreign service officer, and the adjutant off.
Adjutant. Okay, that's good. Adjutant. No, there won't be a sentence, but the adjutant will render a verdict. And verdicts have consequences, even for the deceased. Is that what this is about? What's she getting at? If the court agrees this was a suicide, that verdict will retroactively affect evaluations of the individual's mental health. Ooh, good luck, Rev. You're gonna ace that. I'm sure of it. You're gonna fuck that test up. It won't even be close. You've got it. I believe in you. Like, whether he was in his right mind or not? You know anything about estate tax law, detective? No. But I'm sure you'll be happy to educate me. More than happy. An individual found by a court to not be of sound mind can't very well give their consent to be the lawyer drawing up, or to the lawyer drawing up their will. If his will is compromised, all of David's considerable assets would suddenly be thrown into legal limbo. Oh, my laundry just finished. I'm gonna open and throw out the clothes so they get to air out, but I'll be back in a second. I'm not gonna fold anything yet. There we go. I'm back. Player ads. Fuck, I should have done that. It's too late. Actually, no, I should. Who gives a fuck? Fuck ads. Do they autoplay soon? I wish you could see... I hate Twitch, man. Fuck. It's so stupid you can't disable pre-roll ads. Like, it's the most, like, anti-streamer thing ever. It makes hobby streaming on this platform complete garbage. Garbage website. It's funny, I haven't completed my... my tax information expired ages ago, so I don't even get any money from Twitch until I fill that in, and I've been way too lazy. So, like, I don't generate anything from ads, and I probably never will. But they do, so you gotta run it, I guess. In which case, the state would be legally obligated to come in and pick up the pieces. So this is just about his money. I'm almost disappointed in you, Morgan. Well, when you take into consideration all the factors, it's actually more complicated than that. For example... Huh? Good luck, Rev. Never mind. Never mind. No, Starling, you should speak your mind. All I mean to say is that while Dr. Asher did have significant holdings in art, real estate, and intellectual property, he also, of course, owned a great deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble. If he was ruled to not be of sound mind, and his shares were to end up acquired by the government, Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image and its standing in the financial community. All of which is to say, there's a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which is the reputation of a man whom I was proud to call my friend. Good question, Munch, I don't know, is the answer. But it seems these... no, I feel like Noble would own that. You're not buying this, are you? The fact that I know she's hyper fucking competent, like she's on my ass so bad. Like Emma is immediately gonna understand that there's more to it. Like in the prologue at the very end, she clocks like enough to almost identify me as the killer just by like psychoanalysis. And she wasn't even there for any part of the procedure. She just read like a report afterwards and she almost immediately clocked it as us. She's gonna know immediately that there's something else that causes us to do this, because she knows that we wouldn't do it, like, without a better reason than this. In case you haven't noticed, the city's working closely with Noble on this, and they're not gonna let you bring them any unwanted attention. Starling did her part, they're watching, and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Okay, that was in bold, so I guess I should write that down. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Why are you raising your voice? If nothing changes, by the end of the day, the whole country is going to hear how David Asher committed suicide. No, I get that, Munch. I'm just also gonna write it down. It's something I probably will want to remember anyway. By midnight, there will be questions about his competency. Concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over that sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, I would expect a great deal of volatility. ... exclamation point! That's so. I understand Noble's apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel like right now, the fiscally conservative thing to do would be to not get in my way. So you've got your reasons, and Noble's got a lot to think about. But why should the district attorney's office devote valuable time to playing out this game of yours? Because they're certain they'll win. That goes without saying. Oh yeah, these two have fought in court, and I think we've lost every time, if I remember correctly from the prologue. I think Emma fucking booms us every time. The courts should have an opening at 6 PM. Oh, 10 or something? Yeah. I didn't have anything planned. Then it's a date. Detective, would you get her clearance set up? Yes, ma'am. Updates every hour, yeah? You're out on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger. Here. Clearance for all the relevant sites and police firewalls. Oh shit, we got a date with Emma. Yay! The dating sim part, woo! I did say that Umineko would be a disappointment if I couldn't date, like if the final episode didn't turn out to be a dating sim. And spoiler, it didn't. So I'm really hoping that, like, this game provides me with that, like, provides me with something to fill the, like, giant hole that Umineko left in me, where my expectations were. So it doesn't have to happen this episode, but like every episode they release, like I need at least like a dating segment, you know? And don't introduce a George character. I will kill you if you introduce a George character. Like, I will make it my mission to ruin the game, game's reputation if you introduce George. On God, man. And I'm not even religious. You can interview and investigate with your authority as an officer of the court now. If you haven't already been doing that. Don't even think about being sloppy with discovery on this. Rockford might think you're funny, but I appreciate the warning, Detective Rice. It's nice to know you care. I live to serve and protect. Phew. Thanks for the assist, darling. Yeah, no sweat. Are all cops like that? Or are they more like that Detective London gentleman? Oh yeah, she's down bad. Okay, this is the first important decision in the entire game. Do we make her think cops are good, or do we make her think cops are bad? Do we paint London as exceptional, or do we paint him as a dime a dozen? Cops are handsome, perhaps? This is nothing about... this is more about the looks as much as, like, attitude and vibe, I feel like. I feel like I want to say... Okay, let's metagame a little bit. Why would this be a decision that shows up in a game like this? This is a very weird... This might be the weirdest decision the game has thrown at me so far, with the least clear implication. On a romance side, I would pick most are like her to make him seem more special. Because that would, you know, endear her to him, or endear him to her more. But this doesn't seem like a romance game, and I don't see how that would play into it. I feel like it's likelier to be about, during the discovery, how much she is going to divulge to the cops. Because she doesn't like Grace. It's pretty obvious. She's kind of scared of her and intimidated. I feel like the only gameplay implication this is gonna have is on how much of what we tell her is gonna be communicated forward to the cops. So I'm gonna say most are like her so that she provides them less information. They're mostly like that, yes. They're all that intense? Yes, it comes from being short. And most cops are short? Yes. Right, well, I'll see you at the courthouse tonight. If you need anything in the meantime, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck, both of you. What do we do now? Well, I have a few options. I have access to the crime scene now, probably the best place to start. I'd like to head over to the company building as well, to get me registered, among other things. This Finky face is really good. Either David killed himself or he didn't. But if he did, it's almost certainly his asshole corporate overlords who are to blame. In which case, I'll want to take my sweet time raking them over the coals. What are you doing? Nothing. What about Father? When can we see him? He'll be at the morgue by now. The medical examiner will speak to me, now that I'm operating under the court's authority. But if I stop to flash paperwork at every nurse and security guard with nothing better to do than ask questions... I'll have to... What's that look for? You were Father's friend. Thank you again for reminding me. Aren't there people you'd like to speak with? Other friends who'd want to know? Bad news travel fast. I'm sure everyone in the country has heard about David by this point. But all that heartbreak shit did keep me pretty occupied these last few weeks, and I was never one to pry. If there was someone who could tell me more about David's personal life for the last several months, it would be worth the effort of finding them. Do you have someone in mind? Maybe someone he met recently? He spoke about becoming close with someone this year, a musician. It's Kaguya. It's Kaguya. Now that you mention it, there was a P.O. something that David might have mentioned when we talked back in. I will begin a search. I have completed my search. I found nothing. Oh, thanks for the old college try. Is that really the best you can do? Father was a private man, in person and online. With just a few letters and the fact that he was a musician, I'm afraid we don't have enough information to narrow down the results, Adonai. It's so good that they used Adonai to not make it cringe fucking master. God. I associate the term master in visual novels with exclusively cringe writing and nothing else, I think. I don't think I've ever seen an example where I'm like, this is good writing and this adds something to the setting and I like that they say master and it's coherent and not distracting in any way and not creepy either. Or like not intentionally creepy to add to something. There's probably like once or twice, but not that I remember. No, we have plenty of information. We just need the right person for the job. What kind of person is that? Time, date, expunged. Okay, let's, real quick, I'm gonna guess it's masters. No basis. Precinct 112, or 11-2. Detainment room 001. And who would you even have called? Oh my fucking god. So for those who wasn't there or weren't there for the prologue, this is the Zoomer character. All I know about her is we called her on the phone during the case before we figured out that we were the murderer, and she's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be in prison, like being a nice girl, and instead I'm like hacking into government facilities or whatever, and being a menace online. How are you doing?" And we just texted with her, and then nothing happened, and that's like all I know about her. But her tag online is brat. I don't know, but I still should have gotten my phone call. Instead, I got you. Who are you again? My latest guardian, new foster parent. Want me to call you mommy? I'm not really the motherly type. I disagree. I disagree. On what basis? Nothing but vibes. Don't question me. I'm totally normal. Hey yo, we might actually get along. So I've got good news and bad news. I'm not your guardian, I'm your lawyer. You've been given a lawyer because you're being charged with a felony. Fascist pigs, skipping school's a felony now. Hacking into a government database has been a felony for a very long time. That wasn't me. They have your keystrokes, your IP address, your login times, and the playlist you were listening to. That was for a homework assignment. Here's what I don't get. You got in, copied the data, could have gotten right out. State wouldn't even know they'd been robbed until they saw their password show up on black market clearance 2 weeks later. But you didn't get out. You stayed and made changes to their database. You robbed the bank, got clean money, then dragged a can of spray paint behind you all the way home. Why? Look, I didn't steal anything. That wasn't already compromised. And the only data I edited was my own. So if anything, they should be thanking me for correcting their mistakes. What, did they get your birthday wrong? My name. Name changes are only 2 pages of paperwork. You just need to fill out the form. And get a signature from a parent or guardian. So? What's the good news then? The good news was that I'm your lawyer, not your guardian. The hell? That doesn't count as good news. That's just a thing you said. Don't be so sure. A lawyer's a lot better than a guardian. How's that? Parents, guardians, foster whatevers, they're all supposed to take care of you because it's the right thing to do. A lawyer is someone who always does what's best for you, no matter what, because that's how they get paid. So how good are you at your job? I don't know why I gave her the most annoying voice ever, but I'm not apologizing. It's punishment for watching my stream. Hello, mon cure. It's pronounced cure. I know how it's pronounced. And don't call me that. When I met Fran in the police station, I couldn't help but bet that I'd landed the jackpot. A valuable asset with a skill set complementary to my own personal and private pursuits. Someone who, after seeing the sweetheart probation deal I managed to land for them, would be more than happy to help me with whatever I need whenever I need it. You are so fucked up. I assumed that eventually she would be in on the murders, but no, of course not. It's a kid. Always so cold, friend. Oh, wait. Oh, Kurt. Oh my god, it was a double entendre. And I missed it. Hello, Moncure. Instead of sweetheart, it's fucking dog. Or mutt. That's funny. French... Is that Francis? Chat. I've ran into this first name 800 times and I still don't know how to pronounce it. Francois. Francois, thank you. Thank you. I thought that was just people being racist. No. I don't know what I thought, but I have heard that pronunciation before. Thank you. Francois Snow. September 20th. Height 158 centimeters. Weight 51 kilograms. Isn't that underweight at that height? Blood type O+. Occupation student and hacker, but don't put that down obviously. Likes haptics mood, synth music mood, cinnamon toast mood. Dislikes teachers, politicians, adults, cops, alarm, clocks. Values rarity, originality, history, and vibes. Favorite subject, none. Worst subject, literature, social studies, athletics. Based. Always so cold, Fran. Can I even get a good morning? No such thing. Nothing's good ever happen until the afternoon when people are actually awake. What I got instead was a compulsive liar with a horrific sleep schedule and a crippling addiction to poor time management. We did not pass the vibe check. What do you want, Red? I can't call you up just for fun. Not if you don't want to get blocked. She's got like, or they've got, I don't know if, did they say gender? Did they specify? Oh, okay. I'm gonna just default to they. They have real Neko Arc vibes for some reason, I don't know why. No, let me take that back, They do not have Neko Arc vibes, they have Chaos Gremlin vibes. Not quite the same. Not quite the same, but... they have Chaos Gremlin vibes. I need you to find somebody for me. No, they're not Neko Arc. Not quite, but they are Chaos Gremlin vibes. Can't do it. I've got homework. We both know the only time you ever do your own homework is during the class it's due. And I've got sports. You can't tell a basketball from a hockey stick. Oh no, I know who Neko Arc, but you had a comma. Munch, you can't say that and have Neko Arc, comma, Chaos. Neko Arc Chaos is a character. Yes, Neko Arc, comma, Chaos is not a character. You fake fucking fan. Holy shit, man. Can't believe you. And I've got a bidding war to win. You're the only person on Earth bidding on 70-year-old Gucci and Air Jordan vintage reps, Fran. I think you can take your eyes off the auction block. So yeah, so sorry, but I'm busy, so... I was hoping we could skip straight to the carrot portion of the routine, but if you insist on doing things from the top... Huh? I had an interesting conversation with your parole officer yesterday. Oh yeah? They've been really into the self prefixes lately. What? Self-motivation, self-actualization, self-help. Oh, and he thinks you could really benefit from it. You're lying. He's got all the workbooks ready. Clearly your Saturdays are stacked, so I'll make sure your Sundays are full of... Fine, I get it. I need you to find a local musician. Musician? Knowing you, this will be a lecture swing or some other awful. Last name Powell or Parker. And that's all you got? Okay, Powell, Parker, it's gonna be... Kaguya is gonna be the VTuber persona, and they're actually just a man vibing. Because we all know that online women aren't real. God, I can't believe that was a thing people actually used to say unironically in the unironically when I grew up. To the point that before until I was a teenager, kind of. Because I'd never used voice chat while playing like WoW and shit. Until like that age. I just kind of believed that to be true because of how widespread that was. So fucking cringe, man. They'll be in David Asher's circles. Wait, Asher, you're working that? That should be more than enough for a clever kid like yourself to go on. Don't go expecting any miracles. I need this soon, within the hour, ideally. You know I have other clients, don't you? Other clients who actually pay you on time? A musician, find him. Okay. Even talking over the phone, you're very animated, Adonai. What do you mean? Just that you're very expressive when you talk to people. Because she's fucking putting up a front and manipulating everyone around her constantly because she's a fucking psychopath goth mummy who I... Of course I'm expressive. If I wasn't, how would anyone know what I'm thinking? I see, I'll keep that in mind as we... Wait, you really expect to tag along? Of course, father was... Yeah, I know you want to. But why should I let you? Because I am capable and helpful. Uh-huh. I mean it. I can take notes for you. And move heavy objects. And I'll learn to do more. How? This game's writing is already so good. It's so endearing, I think is the phrase I want to use. It's so endearing. I really, really dig it. It's very stupid, but so endearing. I will subject every individual we encounter to a basic survey to procure biographical information on them while I gain experience in questioning. Subjecting them to torture? I can help, Adonai. How fast can you fill out forms? Fast. Congratulations, you're halfway to being a paralegal. We finally got it. We finally got the fucking the thing for her. Unemployed paralegal question mark. 200 kilograms? Boy, your hands are twigs. I have tiny as fuck hands. Your wrists are like 4 centimeters. What are you packing? UAD. Occupation paralegal question mark. Likes martial arts, carbonation, collarbones. You know what? I also have a thing for collarbones, I think. I don't know why. It's just like an appealing... It's just appealing. I can't like explain it more than that. But yeah, no. On a basic level, I like collarbones too. Like, I have a vaguely positive association with it. Now that I'm forced to confront it when it's listed as a like in your bio. Dislikes static, blackouts, elevators. Talents. I'm good at lots of things. Skills. I'm not sure how skills differ from talents. This implies that people write these themselves, which is kind of funny. I also like the 180... Is that the golden rule? The 180 degree rule. What is this? 180 degree rules. The fuck? The internet we were promised. 3rd June, an important update for readers in Sweden. Oh, I see. It's the donation thing. Okay. In filmmaking, the 180 degree rule is a guideline regarding the on-screen spatial relationship between a character and other characters or objects within a scene. The rule states that the camera should be kept on one side of an imaginary axis between two characters, so that the first character is always frame right of the second character. Moving the camera over the axis is called jumping the line or crossing the line. Breaking the 180 degree rule by shooting on all sides is known as shooting in the round. The 180 degree rule enables the viewer to visually connect with unseen movement happening around and behind the immediate subject, and is particularly important in the narration of battle scenes. Oh, I dig that. I really dig that actually. That makes sense. That's cool. Congratulations, you're halfway to being a paralegal. You coming? Right away, Adonai. Pattaya Penthouse Dining Room. Pretty quiet elevators, huh? I missed the last 2 minutes. Why are we on Wikipedia? We got the profile for Sarah, and it said, I also like the 180 degree rule. I assume ads were ran, I'm sorry. The 180 degree rule, and I had to look at what that was. Pretty quiet elevators, huh? You could have taken the next one. It's a busy building, detective. Can't hold up everyone else on our account. Anything you'd like to grumble at me before I start? Don't touch anything! I don't care what you're wearing. I don't care that you're wearing gloves. It's a pip stream. Shut up, man. It's a medicated pip stream today, and I ate food before streaming. So, I'm different, okay? Open the window though, it's fucking insanely hot in here. And by that I mean I just get hot when I stream for some reason. Only one Wikipedia visit an hour is different. I'm fucking... I'm such a fucking wreck. I'm such a fucking, like, train wreck of a person, man. You know, I like to think that being different is part of my appeal. Cope. I have been to crime scenes before, you know? Long before the police get there in many cases. Look, Rockford asked me to not get in your way. Sweden hot or actually hot? It's like 23 degrees inside and like 18 outside. 22 maybe. I've been running the dryer for like a couple hours without having ventilation, so it's gotten hot because of that, I think. And also I cooked not too long ago in a pretty small space. Look, Rockford asked me to not get in your way, but that doesn't mean I'm going to bend over for you. Do you at least have the autopsy report? No. Are you seriously... I don't. She doesn't? The report should have come in hours ago. It wouldn't take this long unless the cause of death was still... Then I'd settle for a summary of the preliminary findings. An emergency. An emergency. Ugh. I made you yawn. I know yawns are contagious, get fucked, bro. An emergency call was made shortly after 8 PM last night via the home security system. Emergency medical services had a VTOL in the air within the minute. They landed on the penthouse's helipad at 8:08. VTOL landed on helipad at 8:08. Dr. Asher was found unconscious with low blood pressure and a weak heartbeat. I wish that was me. My blood pressure is way too high and my pulse is way too high too. I wish I was Dr. Asher right now. In-flight auto triage. I know what that means. Fuck. Triage. Wait, is triage spelled with 2 G's? No, it is spelled with 1. Yeah. Administered artificial CPR while in transit to Gates Field Memorial. He was declared dead a few minutes after being taken to the emergency wing. I see. And the cause of death is? Being investigated. Make an educated guess. He stopped breathing, so they gave him oxygen. His heart stopped pumping, so they had the machines take over. His brain activity dropped to 0, and there wasn't anything else they could do. Why am I so yawny all of a sudden? It all hit like immediately, what the fuck? Need to get it all out of my system, I guess. It was poison, wasn't it? What kind? You don't know, do you? Actually, you know what I should do? If I'm yawning, I should engage the standing function on my standing desk. I'm gonna mute myself, and I hope I've laid the wires in a way where they don't, like, snap. So I'm gonna be a little bit careful, because I haven't actually used it since I moved everything around not too long ago. 1 second. Okay, we have engaged the standing function on my standing desk. I don't think I'll yawn while I'm standing up, you know? At least I hope not. Ah, they don't know either. Like I said, ma'am, we don't have the autopsy report yet. Why are you certain it was poison, Adonai? Couldn't it have been an accidental overdose? If he had overdosed on a commercial drug, even a pre-med student would have spotted it on the hospital's intake screening. They would have been able to pump his stomach, neutralize his bloodstream, and he would have lived. Okay, I'm also gonna be smart and grab my Crocs, because my feet always start hurting if I'm standing still for too long. I've got hardwood floor. This shit kills my my feet. There we go. But he didn't live. So it must have been something deadly, a compound designed solely to kill. A fast-acting, deadly poison that causes respiratory failure. The list can't be that long. Even just through process of elimination, the medical examiner should have identified it by now, unless... You suspect the designer drug, don't you, detective? Is she actually good at her job? Why is it you're only quick on the uptake when it suits you? Because we're fucking with you. Constantly. We are just constantly fucking with you, man. Get with the program. Nothing else makes sense, given what we know and what we don't. But the CDCA decriminalized and catalogued all recreational drugs. That's fucking based. What the fuck? Contraband Decriminalization Acts, a series of laws passed in the 2060s that decriminalized all narcotics use and established the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight to administrate the production, licensing, distribution, and taxation of drugs. There's 2 spaces here for some reason. Of drugs across the country. Overwhelmed by civil unrest and eager to replenish government coffers, the CDCA were intended to reduce the backlog of criminal cases across the country and provide much-needed tax income, while also incentivizing immigration with the promise of amnesty. In what was considered a domino effect, other major nations around the globe passed comparable laws to build up their own depleted war chests and revitalize their local economies. The so-called white wave of global amnesty overturned the international drug trafficking market in just a few short years. The grey wave followed soon after, as money-starved criminal organizations waged economical and literal war against multinational corporations for dominance of this new grey market. Fierce competition for government licenses to produce classic narcotics emerged alongside a race to develop new, more powerful designer drugs and to monopolize on their sales in the months it would take the government to identify and legalize them. While rates of addiction and overdose deaths have dropped since their peaks in the last 2 decades, the dangers associated with untested designer drugs and drug distributors' eagerness to earn new customers has continued to fuel debate over the legacy of the CDCA and the white wave as a whole. Interesting. Guess you aren't entirely clueless about politics. So whatever father overdosed on should have been in the hospital database. You need to update your definitions. You're confusing designer drugs with recreational drugs. Designer drugs, a custom-made drugs, typically recreational and psychoactive. In the literal sense, designer merely denotes any drug that is custom-made as opposed to mass-produced, typically outside of normal pharmaceutical industry standards. In common parlance, however, designer drugs, DDs, deeds, DEDs, are illicit narcotics formulated to produce a recreational high. While the CDCA and the white wave that followed it legalized and taxed virtually all known narcotics, it did so alongside extensive documentation and study, and those laws could only apply to drugs that already existed. Any drugs patented after the white wave must go through approval processes and registration with national and international authorities, a time-consuming process that can take anywhere from 6 months to several years. This time lag creates a window of opportunity wherein organized criminal groups can step in to meet the demand for a narcotic. What has become known as riding the wave is the new normal for the international drug trade, pitting mob chemists against corporate laboratories in a race to develop newer, more powerful, more easily habit-forming drugs and cornering the market on them before legislation catches up to them. Users also frequently search for, "Is Nerve legal yet? Best new Deads 2086. Nirvana designed by who?" What's the difference? Recreational drugs are decriminalized and sold through pharmacies after years of testing and mountains of paperwork, while the average designer drug was invented last week in a 19-year-old line cook's bathroom on the other side of the globe. Hospitals can't know the proper countermeasures for an overdose of a drug that didn't exist 48 hours ago. I came across makeshift labs all the time when I was a uniform. The equipment's cheap and widely available. Black market cooks, grey market peddlers, and white-collar lobbyists all chasing each other's tails in a long line to find the next big hit. CDCA didn't change shit. More people die from ODs than ever before. Only difference is it's their families finding them in the living room and not beat cops finding them on the street corners. Real comforting, I'm sure. If it wasn't you talking, I'd say that was a criticism of law enforcement. Not law enforcement, just a law. Assuming it was a designer drug, that would certainly make things more complicated. For the insurance guys, maybe. For us, whatever he used to do it, he still killed himself. Or didn't kill himself, if you insist. I'm going to take a look around now. Chat, do you think we have a hypothesis, or like enough information to form even the grounds of a hypothesis? What happened? I mean, we have a bunch of the background, right? I feel like if that is how he actually died, like designer drug overdose, we already have a motive. But I still don't know how the android fits into this. I feel like that's the biggest thing, is that somehow Sarah is gonna fit into this in a way that makes sense. And right now that is not the case in the slightest. Yeah, sure, make yourself at home. What's that face for? I thought that there would be an outline. An outline? Around... What the fuck? Oh. I heard a door slam in my apartment. I have a different window open in the bathroom, and I had the bathroom door open. So it's caused a, like, stream of air throughout the apartment. And it just closed the door with that, and it just slammed shut, because a gust of wind came in or whatever. And I got jump scared. Sarah didn't exist then, Marcus. Sarah's the thing. Okay, so I'll explain for Sarah. So here's my thinking. I'll actually just go through what my thinking is right now. So Sarah was locked in a secret vault that we unearthed, and no one knows about her except for Asher and us now. Asher was the only one to have seen them, apparently, so far that we know of. And it's the only android ever, like, designed and produced by one person, like, instead of a committee. Supposedly. We'll see how true that is. She was in... or they were dormant. The homunculi was dormant in the vault when Asher died. Now, my thought process for Asher is... money seems like a pretty boring motive. No, that's fair, Marcus. I realized. That's why I'm explaining now. I forgot when I said it initially. But you're right. Money seems like a pretty boring answer. I feel like power is more likely. One thing that doesn't fit with this case specifically, but I think will be relevant later, is that general androids showed emotions for the first time after Asher died. I'm wondering if someone wanted to kill him to trigger that for some reason. But more realistically, I think what happened is someone killed him because of either to destabilize Noble or in some way position themselves so that they could snag a fuck ton of the shares and stuff. Or gain something of note that Asher was, like, locking them away from. So what I'm looking for is, like, a rival or someone who's very close to them, like, on the family line, that would benefit from their death. Every character introduced so far, I think, has nothing to do with the death. I don't think we've seen the murderer yet. Actually, that's not true. That's not true at all. I think we have one singular suspect in this entire thing. And the singular probable suspect right now is Jess. I'm fairly sure that of all the people we met so far, the only one who's really a suspect is Jess. Charm point, her earnest smile. I've also already thought that Jess, having the charm point be her earnest smile, and I also think her design reminds me a little bit of a viper for some reason. I can't quite put my mind to why, but I keep thinking of a snake when I look at her. I think there's a good chance that she doesn't give a shit about London, really. And it's just, like, her persona of being slightly incompetent and very endearing is a persona. And she's actually positioned here as the assistant to David Asher to benefit from his death in one way or another. Maybe even, like, since she's the only one who worked with him closely, maybe she has information that makes her very, very valuable now. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm... like, when I look at her stat sheet or whatever, this profile, I like to call it a stat sheet. It feels like a stat sheet. she reads as way more competent than she's acting. Yeah, she's good at reading the stock market. That doesn't fit at all with how she is as a character. Like, nothing about how she acts fits with the skill set that she should have. Also, relaxes by bar hopping in the lower wards also doesn't fit her persona at all. I feel like, if anything, she'd get way too tired from the vibes I'm getting now. I feel like she's a manipulator. So my prime suspect right now is that Jess killed David Asher. But motive is a little bit difficult right now. We'll figure it out. Around where they found father. Like in the movies? Like in film. Connect to the police's network and bring up their ARCS file. Augmented reality crime scene. I see. Let's get a look at the crime scene. There is an outline. And so this is where he died at the hospital. This is just where the medics found him. And it's the sensors and cameras they were wearing that create the basis for the SARCs. I think you're burning something with that one, Chief. Is that saying that... Does that mean that I'm not cooking, I'm burning the food? Is that what you're saying, Kirby? To be fair, I will say I'm a little bit down for far-fetched estimates right now, after they pulled the twist that our main character is a murderer. I feel like this game loves that type of twist. I feel like it would fit with the MO of the game so far. They didn't realize they were walking into a crime scene, but their body cams gathered data all the same. Where do we start? You can start by following behind me and trying to be as quiet as possible. I'm starting to get a feel for when she's pouting, even without looking. Oh yeah, right, I can right-click to immediately go to a thing to inspect, my bad. Oh yeah, if you want like a... Okay, let's give a confidence. I think it'd be fun to like update a confidence rating for guesses as the case progresses, right? I would say I'm about 10% confident right now. If that gives you a general idea. But it's the only guess where I have enough information to make a coherent connection to like a motive and a way to commit the crime as well. So that's why I'm putting it at as like the only guess I can make right now with our current information. I just think it'd be fun to like update our guesses as the case progresses. I always admire this view. The buildings gleam with reflections of holograms and sunlight, and their shadows obscure all the rundown, rotting parts of the town. Maybe the view's secondary. Maybe all anyone really wants is to put as much distance between them and the street level as possible. Is it possible that a witness could have seen something through these windows? Not through these windows, no. David installed wide spectrum auto tint in all his homes, all his cars. I didn't know that. Well, you wouldn't notice unless you were viewing the penthouse for more than... Why did he care so much about his windows? David Asher wanted... My W button is getting stuck right now on my keyboard. And it's been doing that for like a week or two, and I don't know why. It really sucks. It like won't register for a little bit, and then it'll like double register sometimes. Might be the final days for my keyboard. David Asher wanted to keep something secret? Question mark? Probably the Android is my current guess. Had tinted windows everywhere. A chessboard and a datapad with a series of characters on it. I have nothing to go with that would indicate that this is a cipher at all, or a message at all. I think I should just pick the non-omega option and just pick a game. Yay! Algebraic notation. Was he studying an old game or playing against himself? Black has checkmate in 40 moves. That's a Sicilian defense, by the way. Nice. Wow, a robot that's good at chess. We ought to put you in a museum. She's such a fucking asshole. But I'll take your word for it. What do you mean? Do you not play, Adonai? No, especially not against David. Well, that is to be expected. Anyone who challenged Father to a battle of wits would naturally grow tired of losing. Every game starts the same. Each player has the same pieces, the same moves, the same options. It's a true test of wit, strategy, and forethought. To me, it always seemed too... boring? Too fair. The smarter player wins every time. And that is something you take fault with? Of course. How's a gal like me supposed to win a game like that? Says here that when the medics arrived, he was on the floor face up. Does that tell you something? Hey, if you were going to drink a glass of poison, would you be sitting or standing when you did it? Standing. I find it very difficult to speculate on that hypothetical scenario. The seat by his body is pulled out. Oh, I thought she meant sitting on the ground. No, I'd be sitting in a chair. Or in a chair. I'd be sitting in a chair over... Like, if there's a table there, I'm sitting in a chair, or I'm taking it as, like, medicine. I'm not just standing still in the middle of the room. No way. But he wasn't found slumped over. No, he wasn't. And if he had been standing when he lost consciousness, I would think he would have fallen forward, or at least collapsed less neatly. So what can you conclude from that, Adonai? I'm gonna write down weird... or found in a weird position ground. Or having just consumed. Only that I'm missing something. Could be a slow acting poison, but you have the thing here. Password locked, but already cracked by the police, it seems. All the docs were take-home safe, nothing spicy. When was it last used? 7:48 PM. Okay. The helipad landed at 8:08. What's this thing called? Oh well. Read emails at 7:48. Yeah. Can we also just talk about something? This is of extreme importance. Why the fuck are we using American time in the future? Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to use AM and PM and not military time? Are you fucking stupid? There ain't no way that we haven't abolished this dogshit time measurement system. Or, whatever. In like 60 years. There's no way. There's no way we haven't defaulted to military time. USA, USA, USA. Fuck off. You're wrong. You're not based. You're stupid. SMH. Cringe. There's a lot of messages marked priority that breadcrumb their way back to an article. Warm android blood saves soldier's life. Okay. In a stunning and heroic episode, one of our nation's brave soldiers had their lives saved by a noble android, and in a way that no other competitor's product could. Also, just one question, did Asher, or do we know if Asher founded Noble? Or if he was just picked up? I I feel like... No. No, I have not read this already. No, did I do it in episode 0? Like halfway through? Well, what context would I be presented with this again? Or whatever, I should reread it. I don't think I've read this. My point is, I wonder if he found a noble, because the or if he did found noble, found noble. I think I think the name is like him trying to make robots to like help humanity, right? Which, you know, companies don't tend to like. In a stunning and heroic episode, one of our nation's brave soldiers had their lives saved by a noble android, and in a way that no other competitor's product could. A brave private, name withheld, was wounded during a military operation whose exact nature and location is currently classified. Bleeding badly and far from the nearest triage station, he was carried to safety by his fellow freedom fighter, an Animate 16 Enforcer, one of the few warm androids being currently tested out by the armed forces. But the android didn't just sit there and wait for evac, it opened up its own arteries and pumped life-saving UD, universal donor, synthetic plasma into the young man's veins. These are highlights. These are not the edited ones. Edited comments show up in red. At least so far. These are highlights, I think. Kind of like how articles do it in real life where they bold certain things. Stabilizing him long enough for him to reach a military hospital. I have no doubt he'd be dead if there was any other android fighting alongside him, said one commanding officer who asked not to be named. I always thought Noble was only good at making ads that look good. Now I know they've got something inside them that no one else can compete with. The story brings a well-deserved shot in the arm to Noble's stock prices and market share. With this one heroic moment, Noble's warm androids have proven themselves to be worth their price tag, and then some, and people in the capital are paying attention. It's certainly an interesting idea, Senator Mathings said when asked about committing to a military contract for Noble to provide the armed forces with war models. This feels 110% like a PR stunt. Anyone else getting that vibe, or just me? This story's got people talking. If we just ignored our constituents' feelings on this matter, we'd be neglecting our duty as politicians, and I know none of my peers would ever try to put a price on the life of one of our soldiers. While additional details about the incident have remained closely guarded, the net is already ablaze with talks of, "Oh damn, you're not logged into this device. Why don't you pop your user details down below and enable Chrome so you can get the user experience you deserve?" But why would Noble have it marked as priority? Starling said they weren't in any rush to pat each other on the back over it, even though they'd won themselves a real prize. No, constituent. I know how to pronounce it, it's just, you need to understand that if you read 100,000 words in one stream, you are going to mispronounce words that you don't see very frequently. You will just have to tank that, the mental damage, okay? I will not spend time looking up the word. So, I mean, ECPR is one thing, but they did mention the military contract. But they didn't commit to it. Is this asking... Why would Noble have it marked as priority? I don't see why PR would be it. I just don't. It has to be about the military contract, right? Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. I really like that even though I read it all and comprehended all of it, the answer was still slightly ambiguous. It feels like you actually need to do deduction and be like, okay, obviously it's related, but nothing said, there's not, I can't just like keyword search for confirmed military contract, like we will sign a military contract. I like that it's written in a way where it's still like slightly ambiguous, and like they say here, they now have the excuse they need to pressure the military into a contract for warm androids. Just really good that they don't just like spoon feed it to you. I feel like so many of these games is like, okay, just do word association until you get the answer you need, right? It's good stuff, it's good stuff. Can't dismiss the expensive upgrade as unnecessary now that it saved the soldier's life. This time next year there'll be pink oxidizing fluid being split or spilt all over the globe. 2 cups, 1 empty, 2 girls, 1 cup. Never mind. Don't comment on it. 2 cups, 1 empty, knocked over, and 1 mostly empty. These look cheap. Did his guest bring them? I've seen them before, in the basement liquor cabinet. He kept these lying around? I knew he re-gifted those crystal glasses I got him. Ark says there's nothing foreign in the upright one, so it can't have been poisoned. You can mix things so that it becomes poisonous in the blood, though. That's a thing that can happen. Results are inconclusive on the other cup, however. Looks bone dry. Must have been nothing but fumes left by the time this was considered a crime scene. Just not enough there for them to test. Inconclusive could mean... Inconclusive means inconclusive. That's all. Cheer up and read me the results of the fingerprinting. Father's prints are on both cups as expected. But there are someone else's on the upright cup, so someone else must have been with him last night. Slow down. All that proves is that someone else touched the cup. Doesn't tell us when they did it. And since we don't know who the prints belong to... Adonai, why don't we know who the prints belong to? Are the prints flagged as unidentified, or... No, there's space for a name, but the field is black. What? What? Censorship in my game in the future? In post-apocalyptic fucking cyberpunk dystopia future? Can't be. Redacted in my game? Have we met anyone who would be redacted? Emma? Potentially. Emma could do that. I don't know if Jess has the ability to do that. Munch, we know jack shit about Kaguya. That is a wilder leap than anything else in the story so far. You know that, right? If anything, Powell is a better candidate than Kaguya. Shit, am I already that late to the action? Detective Race, yeah? There's a second set of prints on the cup. Is there a form you'd like me to sign? Doesn't matter how nicely you ask, sometimes people just can't answer. So it's someone, or rather, it's someone who has ties to someone higher in law enforcement, or is higher in law enforcement. Emma stands out so far. You should know that damn well, Madam Counselor. I was afraid you'd say that. I don't understand, Adonai. What does this mean? It means that whomever those prints belong to has very proactive representation. Those prints belong to a witness, as you've guessed. You're more than welcome to their testimony. That's fucking weird. Handprints on the cups belong to a redacted witness. But their identity is... The department is being very considerate of the witness's privacy, out of respect for their time and appreciation for their cooperation. Okay, so there's corruption all the way up in the system, good to know. Fine, forget the name. That easily. Subpoenas are always an option, but I'm short on time. A legal order issued by the state on the behalf of the prosecution or the defense that compels the addressed party to give testimony, provide information, or turn over evidence. Failure to comply with a subpoena will result in being charged with contempt of court. That is a real thing. What did the witness have to say for themselves, detective? To paraphrase, they came to see Dr. Asher last night, the two of them talked and they had a drink together. There's one other candidate. Victoria Masters, lawyer to the rich and famous. Expensive liquor. Like a insanely competent lawyer who trained us. Shown to party. Probably has a billion times more ties to law enforcement than we do. Looks kinda like, what the fuck's her name? Not Esmeralda. The Emperor's New Clothes villain. Eva. I didn't know this existed. This is not... What the fuck? Okay, is it the Emperor's New Groove I'm thinking of? Yes, it is. Isma. Isma, that's it, thank you. Kinda looks like Isma, but like in a hot way, you know? To paraphrase, they came to see Dr. Asher, yeah. Then the doctor got sick, so they activated the emergency system from the panel in the kitchen. Hella fucking suspicious, or not hella suspicious, hella weird that they would be there and activate the emergency system if they planned to poison them. The EMTs came and took them both to the hospital. Asher's condition got worse. All of the witnesses' vitals were normal. Something that mixed in the blood? The witness had their vitals taken, then there should be a record of the admission at Gatesfield. And that's it. I'm guessing you didn't just take all of that on faith. Penumbra is set up in most of the rooms on this floor. Everything the witness told us was corroborated by the building's own surveillance system. So yes, we can guarantee that the witness never put anything into Asher's drink. I'm guessing that I can't have the keys to the penumbra, can I? Not until the witness's lawyers are done reviewing it. Lawyers? Plural? I don't have time to trade jabs with the law offices of Johnson, 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 and Johnson. That's a good joke. Say, how about I give you their business card? The law offices of Koschler, Gustav, Prince and Prince. I was close. No way I'll be getting any client information out of them directly. That's not what the joke is. There's a Johnson & Johnson law firm already in the real world that's fairly famous. So Johnson would be like the grandkids to that, I assume, or like the further down the line. They just keep naming themselves that. If all you bloodsuckers want to get together and tear each other apart, text me before you start. I'd like to watch. Yeah, I bet you like to watch. What? What? What does that even mean? I don't know. I like that she's blushing a little bit. I don't know. I needed a moment to think. She does like me. Look, what do you mean? What do you mean? I feel like the implications are pretty fucking clear. So that was it? One chat, one peek at the cams, and you've already eliminated them as a suspect? Look. They were searched, they didn't have any poison and drugs, not even a stick of gum. Even if they somehow did have poison on them, the camera's footage confirms they have no opportunity to use it. I think the blush is like makeup? I don't think so, because it only shows up in very select ones. She does have freckles though. They drank from the same bottle as a dead man. As far as the department's concerned, they were nearly the second victim. but they aren't dead or even ill from the sounds of things. I mean, her eyes change color and shit when... Oh no, you're right. It is a little bit red already. You're right. I'm just blind. First piece of evidence. That's crazy. But her eyes change color when she starts going into the, like, killer mode. They go... Or, like, when she goes into, like, work mode, they turn pitch black, generally. So I've been looking for... Information is important if her eyes turn pitch black, usually. The plastic cup that David Asher was drinking from before he died. Forensic analysis shows matches for his fingerprints and saliva, but toxicology tests have proven inconclusive. Too much of the whiskey was drunk and or evaporated. So you think he poisoned his own cup beforehand, then poured for the both of them from a safe bottle. That's what the evidence is telling us. There's nothing in the bottle or the witness's cup. Contains no traces of foreign elements, okay. You can also... Well, I mean, they have the... Could the bottle have been swapped out? No, not if the security system is there, because you can create hidden compartments and shit in bottles fairly easily. So it's not difficult to like hide poison that would only pour like if you pour a specific way. There's the killer teapot, for example. Given that we're 60 years in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if you could just like make a stock bottle that has that like dynamic where depending on how you pour poison versus no poison. But if they have the liquor bottle there, then I feel like that would have been easily found after the fact. But after drinking from his cup, a cup he prepared himself, he fell ill and the witness didn't. And Asher died with a foreign substance in his body. An unidentified foreign substance. Suicide by poison. I get that you were close, and simple explanations aren't all that satisfying, but that's life. One last thing. You just said he prepared his cup himself. Did you see that on camera? He left the parlor to get the drinks and came back with his already poured. The witness says he got them from the basement. The witness says that, not the cameras. There's no cams in the lab or the basement. We knew about the base... No, actually, we didn't... Well, we had to have known if no one knew about the android, because otherwise, like, they... Yeah, okay, so I surmised earlier, at the very least, if they didn't explicitly state it, which they might, that there were no cameras in the basement. But his lab? That's fair. That's interesting. I'll actually just write that down. No cams in lab or basement. That seems like a security hazard. Why would Noble not set things up more carefully? It's intentional. If cams of his lab ever got hacked, outsiders could steal his IP and kick Noble's monopoly to the curb. Right, David did complain about Noble's weird protocols for combating corporate espionage. At least we can take comfort in knowing that Father wasn't alone when he died. Yeah, that's worth investigating. Statements made by the singular witness to David Asher's suspected poisoning and death, corroborated by video evidence. The witness arrived at 7:30 p.m. Testimony. Witness arrived at 7:30 p.m. The witness spoke with David Asher in his parlor before he left to retrieve liquor from his basement at 7:36. Upon returning at 7:38, the two of them continued speaking while they both drank. David Asher felt lethargic and disoriented shortly after 8 p.m. David Asher lost consciousness at 8:03 p.m. Okay. So I have a question. The two of them continued speaking while they both drank. What the fuck could they have been talking about that would make him that would make him look up this at 7:48. My guess is that they might have been talking about Sarah. Then this would be the only person who knows about Sarah. Interesting. Rose River Whiskey, 12 years old. You recognize it? Sure, he was more than partial to the brand. It's a good brand, only a bit overpriced, which is the bargain of a lifetime in David's world. It appears that the police have already tested its contents. No foreign matter present, was their conclusion. Is it possible that the police missed the poison? No. Even if they can't identify the poison, they can detect its presence by comparing samples of the whiskey to a bottle off of the store shelves. So we can eliminate the possibility the bottle of whiskey was poisoned. Hey, that's what I said. We'll have to find our smoking gun elsewhere. Oh. Spilled alcohol. The arcs shows how it looked last night before it evaporated. No foreign substances in the puddle, it's clean. So does that mean wherever this spill came from must be clean as well? And how does that work? And like the edges of the cup can't have been tampered with either. That would have left residue, I assume. That's intriguing. One chair knocked over, probably where David was sitting, and one chair pulled out, a party of two. He never cared much for socializing, but he enjoyed hosting. Contradictory guy. Police androids monitoring the scene. Could almost mistake them for the real thing, the way they stand there trying to look important. Like an indoor dog taking its first trip to the park. Pardon? Why are you looking at it like you've never seen an android before? Because I haven't, in person. David didn't even let you have a mirror. Brutal. Just scan... Look at her face, look at their face! Its face, actually. Look at its face, it's so cute. Just scan its gin if you're that curious. Unless that's considered too forward or whatever. Said there's camera footage of the dining room showing David and his guest. I'll also say, chat, I'm starting to wither a little bit with reading. I'm gonna finish the crime scene and then call it there, I think. What about in here? Only cameras in the kitchen is the one mounted on the call terminal. The console took a snap image when the witness ran in to contact emergency services. May I see it? Not unless you scrape the witness's face off the pic first. Don't tempt me. 3 unwashed dishes and a single glass. Race, have these dishes haven't been scanned for prints yet. And I just assumed you might want to do your job. Yeah, there are prints, mostly match the victim. But there's also... Huh? Hey! Don't sneak up on me like that. All I did was walk over to you. You knocked over the salt, Adonai. I was focused on the task at hand. Didn't realize tunnel vision was a selling point on your mod. Adonai, the salt. She knocked it over intentionally, I'm sure. As I was saying, the witness's prints are on that glass. What the fuck was there before she knocked it over? That glass in the sink? They were drinking from cups in the parlor. Did you see a glass on camera? No. So when did they touch this glass? You need to toss it over your shoulder. Witness must have thought about giving the guy some water, but he would have just choked on it if they had tried. What, you think this glass was the murder weapon? It's bad luck, Adonai. You need to throw the salt over your shoulder. Now. We're gonna fuck over the case if you don't. Adonai. Pour some fucking salt over your shoulder now. That's genius. You should go through the footage frame by frame to prove your theory. Wait, that... No trace of any poison, okay. Mature. It's bad luck. What have you been going on about? The salt? Shouldn't a machine be above petty superstition? It's not a superstition, it's an ancient wisdom. Give me one logical reason to care then. What? Why, Munch? Throwing the salt over has nothing to do with her fingerprints. What are you talking about? What? I don't follow at all. I mean the fingerprints part? No. It would have looked hella suspicious on camera if the witness was walking around with gloves indoors while drinking with a friend like that. Unless they like always do it. That's one of those things where it's like immediately try to avoid leaving fingerprints type of deal. Like I think that would have, like I think you're safer playing around without gloves than looking suspicious after the fact because you wore gloves the entire time right as he died. I think strategically it makes way more sense to not wear gloves even if you are the murderer. Because the way Morgan doesn't leave fingerprints is by wearing gloves. If too much salt spills onto your food, it'll make you gag. Maybe it's on me for setting the bar too low there. A salt shaker that was accidentally knocked over during the investigation. The cap was loose. Okay, so this is the key. This is guaranteed. I've played enough of these games. This is the key clue so far. Out of every clue so far, this is the one that will matter. A salt shaker that was accidentally knocked over during the investigation. The cap was loose and so salt spilled all over the countertop next to the sink. Spilled salt is an omen of bad luck according to some. Consuming salt, yeah, whatever. What I'm interested in is if they could have like hid poison in the cap, stuff like that. Why would this be... Why would the cap... First of all, why would it be here? I mean, they said kitchen, but like... It's next to the tap, which is weird. He wasn't cooking anything. Why is the salt next to the tap? And also... Is salt... Okay, order of events. This cup isn't for David. This cup is for the witness. The antidote was in the salt, is my guess. My guess is that that salt has some property or something that would prevent this from happening. Maybe it's the fact that it like dries you out, absorbs water, whatever. There could be a billion different ways, or there's a compound inside the salt that, you know, they hid there before. They might have been here, you know, earlier and knew he doesn't cook. Any number of reasons. But I'm fairly sure the reason their glass is here and the salt is here is not because of David drinking the salt, but because the witness, when they left to the bathroom, since they have the fingerprints over the glass, they did that to like antidote themselves, if they are the killer. Messy workspace, but a pristine kitchen. David was a good cook, but only for others. Unless he had a guest, he'd happily eat instant ramen and protein bars for all 3 meals, or 2, or 1. No sign of food prep to be found, not so much as a cheese spore. So yeah, he didn't cook without guests. Whoever this guest was, they must have shown up unannounced. David's fridge. Normally I wouldn't go poking in the pantry at a crime scene, but this was a poisoning. Some white wine chilling in the drawer, some real cheap liquor stuffed in the icebox. Old habits. Rice, you said he left the parlor and came back with that whiskey from the basement? Huh? That's what the cams show, yeah. There's plenty to drink right here, and unlike the cabinet downstairs, it's actually cold. He must have wanted Rose River in particular. It could have been a request from the guest as well. What's that look for? You hungry? I am an android. I do not get hungry. Are you being sarcastic? Only mostly. I thought you said you required organic nourishment. I do ingest organic substances, but that doesn't mean that I experience hunger as you do. So when you don't ingest organic substances for a long time, I become tired. And when I'm done digesting, I don't need to know. This is where the emergency call was made. What time did the call go out? 8:04 p.m. Okay. Before you asked, the witness left the parlor at 8:03. Not enough time for them to alter the scene. No, but it is enough time for them to take a swig from the salt water or whatever. I wasn't going to ask that. When did the medics arrive? 8:08 p.m., remember? Hell of a response time for a penthouse. Private EMS came by air. Yeah, they landed on the VTOL pad you saw outside, took him to Gatesfield. The very best. If you can afford it. Looking around here, seems like he could afford a lot. He got his insurance through his employer, just like most people. Executive IV plan. David Asher's health insurance policy with Caduceus paid for through Noble Electronics, includes private EMS services on standby. Caduceus only offers 3 levels of employer-provided plans that outrank it. He had executive level? Not like most people at all. A Penumbra security console located inside David Asher's kitchen used to contact emergency services when he fell unconscious. A private emergency service was contacted at 8:04 p.m. and medics arrived at the helipad outside via VTOL at 8:08 p.m. Said detective emergency service contracted for the plan, yeah. Okay. I'm wilting a bunch on reading, and I was gonna hang out with a friend about now, so I will call it here, but I am going to be streaming tomorrow as well. I'll continue tomorrow at probably a little bit earlier than today. I think this is a pretty good place to stop, because now I have you hooked, because we are gonna get into the argument segment tomorrow. The segment that's really interesting. We got all the evidence. It also gives me time to think a little bit and produce some more far-fetched theories for tomorrow. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow at about earlier or the same time, I'm guessing. With that said, let me just raid someone really quick. Because why not, right?
I'll add you.
I mean, I'll just raid Sharp. It's the closest person here to me. I forgot I need to do it via the console. This is fun though. I'm happy we got as much information as we did, and I'm excited to keep going tomorrow and actually get to the meat of things. It's gonna be nice. Bye bye, and I'll see you tomorrow.